All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Thursday morning. Welcome aboard our final complimentary day of live trading this week here at Top Gun Options. I just knocked out a Fox News hit. My brother Raisin Kane and Secretary of Defense Hegseth had a brief this morning. And it's funny, Fox News called me up and said, "Hey, can you jump on real quick?" So I did, but I had to fire back at Raisin. Did you see the press conference this morning? He said, "Well, I can assure you, at the Air Force Weapons School, we don't have beach volleyball." Come on, Raisin. So I got on with Dana Perino just now, and I said, "Well, Dana, I can't let that shot go unanswered from my brother Raisin. Maybe the Navy is just smarter than the Air Force because we build our bases next to water and beaches." So, but great brief this morning. It doesn't shock me the media is like this, but after all we've been through with them, from Russia collusion and all their other bullshit, to Joe Biden's sharp as attack, to his son's not a criminal, all their bullshit, with the, "oh, well, we didn't destroy it" type of thing. The DIA, folks, is one of the lowest of the 17 intel agencies. It was a low confidence assessment. And if you saw General Kane's brief this morning, folks, this isn't going to be like a Bugs Bunny cartoon with a big smoking crater. These things are designed to penetrate and then explode, and anything that's spaced down there gets destroyed. So these raging hyper partisans in this country just make me sick, man. It's ridiculous. So anyway, that was a funny hit this morning, and I filmed a documentary yesterday. It's going to drop Tuesday morning on Fox Nation. So Fox has a series called Who Is? I think the last one they just did is Who is the Ayatollah? So Tuesday it's going to drop. It's called Who is Dan Kane? And they were here for like 2 hours yesterday filming in my home office. So that should be, I'll give you the link when it comes out. All right, we have a lot to cover. If you're in JP Morgan, if you're in short calls on JP Morgan, close them. Let's just lead with that tactically. Why? Because mine were really deep in the money. Look at JP Morgan, man. This week, I sold some, what were they? 282 and a halves the other day. And boom, JP Morgan is on a rip your face off rally. Look at this. Holy shnikes, man. So we are on JP Morgan, folks. We have recaptured all of our Liberation Day implosion, right? I told you back here, JP Morgan, what did it get down to? 190 is the 52-week low. Well, the tariff war lows were 207. What did I tell you? So, ladies and gentlemen, this ain't hard, right? I told, if what are we at right now? We are 37, 27. We are 27 points away from a record high on the S&P 500. Now, all of the panicans, the Bill Ackmans, the Kyle all these guys that were panicking and crying and selling on the way down, what did I tell you? I said we will have a mid-year, a June rip-your-face-off rally. This stuff will be put in the rearview mirror. Trump doesn't want this for the next 3.5 years. He wants trade deals. He wants peace. We're going to rally. No, bail out, sell, panic sell. What are you, stupid? So, ladies and gentlemen, if you did the synthetic stock on JP Morgan back at the bottom here, you are filthy printing money. Okay? Now, remember our short call discussion yesterday with Raytheon. When something's on a tear, get out of the way. Don't sell any short calls. So I closed my short calls this morning, quote, for a little bit of a loss. Who cares? The underlying is printing money. So do not ever close short calls that are in the money and go, "Oh, I lost money on that." Did you not see the underlying printing money? Yeah, but I could have made more. If you're I could have made more, you're going to be miserable. Pigs get slaughtered. Celebrate that the underlying position, JP Morgan, is printing money, and don't, "Oh, well, I could have made more." You're an awful investor if that's how you think. Trust me. Okay. So yeah, get into JP Morgan. Well, Whiz, it's almost at record highs. Is it a buy? Yeah. If you think it's going to go up and to the right for the next 2 years, get into it. Do I have short calls? I didn't put short calls in the model portfolio, which is great. So I look at this, folks. I did synthetic stock on JP Morgan at 200, right? It's up, what is that? 102, 103% in a whatever that was, a month or two. It's up 2,900 bucks. So this is one of my ships that I talked about yesterday, my long-term bullish ships that is deployed at sea. Yes to JP Morgan. Yes, mortgage the house, wife and kids to get long. JP Morgan. Okay, but I wanted to lead with some quick trading and tactical because of if you're deep in the money on those calls, you can get a sign right now, baby. Mine were deep in the money, and I'm like, nope, I'm closing them. I don't want to be run the risk of assignment. For all the new folks, if you had joined Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you would have made potentially, depending on how many contracts, in the model portfolio yesterday. Look at this, folks. I sold a bear call spread, $1.25. I forget how long later, 85% profit, 1,500 bucks. Look at your fellow TGO members. Garrett, Brent, Bill, Colonel, Simon, Scott, he went a little fewer contracts, blah, blah, blah. Steve out 75 or 78% profit. So ladies and gentlemen, just in S&P 500 trades week to date, that's 4,500 bucks ish, closer to $5,000. If you'll allow me to round up, it's close to $5,000. That's a year and a half of a full throttle membership. So today's the day when I go, if you don't join after this, please don't join because you really aren't that intelligent. And I don't mean that to be rude. I mean it as the truth. Made 4,500 bucks this week, folks. I'll round down. It's a year and a half of your membership. How many other services out there, first of all, let you come for free for a week and then pay for a year and a half your membership? Nobody does. Everybody understand that? So I don't know what else to tell you, but there are, was it about 7? Let me look at my chart. This slide is up to date because I just did it after my Fox hit. 7. There are 7 full throttle memberships left. Hey, if on Tuesday you did the bullish on America trade out into the future, you're already making money on that, right? You're welcome. We covered Raytheon yesterday, long-term bullish trade on Raytheon, and we talked about the psychedelic stocks. Did you see what Secretary Kennedy posted yesterday? Or not posted, he quoted as saying in front of a committee under oath, ladies and gentlemen, he said, I want to get psychedelics in the hands of veterans who need it in the next 12 months. It's not me. That's not my sources. That's from the horse's mouth. He's the HHS secretary. I showed you yesterday. The FDA chairman a month ago said psychedelics are top priority for this administration. That ain't me. That's people in this administration. For 4 years, I've been grinding this out, not hearing a word from a Democrat administration that I assumed was pro-psychedelics. You guys were hippies, man. Vietnam, put LSD in the water. They are all aging boomers with their masks on, going to protest and electing communist socialist mayors in New York City. These people, I don't know what happened to you, man. You changed. RFK. So why am I rambling about this? Because you have got to get bullish on the psychedelic names. Do not reach out to me a year from now and said, oh my God, you were right about all that stuff, man. I could have printed money. If you didn't, it's your fault. Today, I'm done with Full Throttle. Full Throttle is separate from Solo Amazon. We can take a lot of unwashed masses in here. I don't limit the amount of members because it's the gateway entry service. There's a lot of people in Solo Amazon. It's 97 bucks a month, folks. So we're going to talk about that today. And then I'm going to take any questions about, trades I covered, all sorts of stuff like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and get airborne. Oh yeah. The replay page. Let me give you that just in case you don't have it. All of the replays are posted on this page. And Today's replay will be posted on here as well. Okay, here we go. All right, there's a replay page. So I'm going to rip through my solo Amazon brief, okay? And then we'll get back to looking at some other positions from the week. But ladies and gentlemen, you've never heard what I'm about to tell you, okay? Matter of fact, you've heard the exact opposite. You've been lied to since day one of investing. I call this stock the Death Star, right? It's Amazon. It's taking over everything that it touches. Anything that it gets involved in, it ends up destroying it, owning it, or making it better. Okay, that's why I call Amazon the Death Star. Just absolutely insane. Real quick, fighter pilot quiz. Even if you don't know anything about fighter aviation, let me give you a little multiple choice quiz. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly into combat? Trading is a form of combat. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to get their ass handed to them. Which one do you want to be? Folks, that's an F4 Phantom. I don't know if Goose is in here, but we have a couple TGO members who actually are senior enough that they flew the F4. Over 300 switches and dials in that cockpit, those steam gauges. Absolutely, it gives me agita looking at that picture right now. This jet was so labor intensive, they actually threw another dude in the back seat just to run like the radios and the radar and the communications, right? 300 switches and dials, which means you spend a lot of time heads down looking at this stuff instead of eyeballs out of the cockpit, looking for SAMs, surface to air missiles, AAA, anti-aircraft artillery, or other, enemy aircraft, MiGs. Very labor intensive, and you need another dude, or today you need another lady. Okay. I loved Hegseth just rip apart another reporter today the other day when he's like, our boys did a great job. Mr. Secretary, there was one girl in the operation. How dare you say boys? It's whatever. They're just not serious people. All right. Your second choice is this. That just took part in Operation Midnight Hammer. Take a look at that cockpit. 2 iPads, 2 flat panel displays. Do you see one steam gauge in this cockpit? No. That's the cockpit of the F-35, the Lightning, right? The Lightning II, the Joint Strike Fighter, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Wonder Woman jet. You can't see it, and it does everything. We have a couple TGO members that are F-35 pilots. My brother Shrek, he went from flying Hornets in the Marines. I got my Marine. I was in 2 Marine squadrons flying Hornets. He's like, dude, I'm tech support. The jet just does. And we're there. You want to be creeped out a little bit? The jet's learning. Every F-35 on the planet is sending everything back to some drive somewhere, and it's learning. At this point in the flight, Shrek looked at this. He scratched his nose. He did that. Learned. So eventually, ain't no pilot in these things going forward. I think the last generation of fighter pilots is in grade school, to be honest with you. Look at the helmet. You want to talk about Star Wars or the Death Star? It looks like Darth Vader, man. Look at that helmet. Everything's projected up on the display. They can look at something, target, shoot. There's enough sensors on the airplane when they look down. They don't see a jet or a cockpit floor. They see ground and threats. Obviously, answer is number 2. You want to fly the F-35 in the cockpit. What's this? Oh, these are old slides. But hey, look at this real quick. I need to update these. Look at the average hedge fund return for the past 5 years. Look at this. 11, 10, -8, 9. Are you kidding me? That's the smart. Anybody ever say, oh, I'd like to be in a hedge fund? No, you don't. These are old slides, but 151% when the average hedge fund did 9. Look at the S&P. It was 20%. The NASDAQ was 38. The Dow was 10. I think this was 23 or no, 24. I forget. Folks, this ain't hard to destroy the smart money. All right, let's go ahead and get airborne real quick. Solo Amazon. Like I said, this might shock you or it might not. I don't care, but you ready for this? Wall Street's lying to you. Okay, Whiz, that's not shocking. Well, what are they lying about? How many of you have heard the saying with investing, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? You heard that on day one of investing. You can't. What do you have to do? You have to diversify. Diversification is important, the 5 steps to this. They froth at the mouth telling you you have to diversify. Who? This guy. And he's lying to you. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you hear the word broker, real estate, boat, aircraft, stock, they're lying to you. It's commission. Anytime you use the word broker, there's a commission involved. The reason they want you in and out of as many names as humanly possible to be diversified is they make money. It's actually an industry practice that's illegal called churn. How many of you saw the movie Wall Street or Wolf of Wall Street? All right, boys, pick up the phones. Let's get the little old ladies in tennis shoes out of that stock. We got them in yesterday and into this one. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. The more names you are in and out of, the more money they make. So don't give me, and for all the people who are about to chat, well, Mr. Smarty Pants, I trade at Robinhood and it's free. If you don't pay a commission to do something, you're not the customer. If you're sitting at a poker table wondering who the mark is, the idiot, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, the customer at Robinhood and all these other low brokerage fees is Ken Griffin at Citadel, right? Or Stevie Cohen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called POF, payment for order flow. All the smart money is watching all of this flow and they are trading off of it. Again, Robinhood ain't Robinhood because, we take care of the poor. Robinhood's called Robinhood because they're giving it to the rich. This ain't hard. I'm going to be brutally honest, and I hope I don't offend you. And if I do, your triggers are your responsibilities, not mine. Diversification is for stupid people. Well, that offends me, Whiz. I don't care. Let me have a nice old man clean that up. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't need to diversify. You can trade one stock for the rest of your life, and it is diversified in and of itself. Let's go to the charts. Yeah, and I forget the name of the hedge fund CIO. Real wealth is not generated by diversification. It is built through concentration. I have to remember who said that. I'm a political science major from South Jersey. I like pictures. I like drawings. This is a hockey stick. I need to update this chart too. Net revenue in billions. You have never seen another company on God's green earth than Amazon and their revenue and what they make. They print money hand over fist. I remember 13 years ago, AWS, Amazon Web Services, didn't even exist. Andy Jassy, the current CEO, and Jeff Bezos came up with it in a condo. Ladies and gentlemen, AWS now is as big as Microsoft. They have on their earnings call for Amazon, they have their own section of the earnings call just to talk about AWS. Amazon Web Services is its own Death Star, ladies and gentlemen. And before I show you that slide, when you think of the cloud, when you hear that on CNBC, cloud this and cloud that, what do you think of? Apple. Yeah, the iCloud or Microsoft cloud. Yeah. Google. Yeah. And you'd be wrong if you said all of those things. The number one owner of cloud infrastructure is Amazon. Apple isn't even on this chart. Google's a little, Microsoft's a distant second. So ladies and gentlemen, when you talk cloud, it's Amazon. Did you just see the recent news of them, spending billions of dollars and buying 3 Mile Island and stuff and all these energy things? Now, let me get political for a second. Democrats hate this chart. Why? Tax Jeff Bezos. He's the world's richest man. He's prints money and he's disgusting and go after Amazon. Look at this chart. If you deleted the name Amazon 25 years ago and showed me this chart and said, young Whiz, would you buy this stock? I'd look at it and I'd go, Whoa, look at their sales. Okay. Free cash flow, well, that's a big delta between how much they sell and their cash. And then I'd look down here at profit. And then I'd go, oh my God, I'm going to short this stock. And I'd be broke and I would have been an idiot. I did the exact opposite 25 years ago because I knew what they were going to turn into. Why? Why do Democrats hate this company? Because, ladies and gentlemen, they don't make any money. Now, if you're an idiot Democrat who was a bartender and knows nothing about the business world, you don't recognize that Jeff Bezos is brilliant. Jeff Bezos, since day one, has said he laughs at the word dividend. He doesn't even know what that word means. If Amazon makes money, I'm going to take said profit and put it back into the Death Star. Put a competitor out of business, buy a competitor, innovate. Ladies and gentlemen, he can cry broke all the way to the bank. Well, how do you make his money? Well, I'm pretty sure he's got 100 kabillion shares of the stock from day one, and he can sell stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what? It doesn't make any money. That's why it's funny. Democrats just froth at the mouth like, oh, that. Well, maybe you should understand business better. Amazon. So for all my people, all my peeps who are like, NVIDIA, NVIDIA, NVIDIA. You want to talk about putting all your eggs in one basket? Investing in NVIDIA is dumb. Trading in NVIDIA might be smart. Why? Because Amazon announces supercomputer. New server powered by what? NVIDIA. Wrong. The company's mega cluster of chips for AI, Anthropic, will be among the world's largest, it said, and its new giant server will lower the cost of AI as it seeks to build an alternative to NVIDIA. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, for the past couple of years, Jeff Bezos looked at his monthly P&L statement and said, how much are we spending on chips and AI and stuff like that? Okay. Yeah, we're going to do this on our own, and we're going to undercut NVIDIA. It's going to be faster, stronger, and cheaper, and we're going to put them out of business. That'll never happen, Whiz. What? Want to make a bet? JG, with a small account trading Whiz's Amazon trades, netted $8,900 in a week. Kristen, you guys are amazing. I trade a smaller account and have done 22 Amazon trades this year for 31 grand in profit. Christine, month-to-date profits on Amazon, 107 grand with more to go. Thanks, Whiz, for all your expertise and guidance doing day trades with short calls to protect my Amazon profits. Learning from the best. And then Anne, I don't know if you're in here. During this time period, she made me look like a complete idiot, like I don't know what I'm doing. In 3 days, I made 90 grand on short calls against my 30 contracts utilizing Whiz's guidance. NJG got to fly in an L39. You got it. Now, before I keep talking about sunshine, lollipops, unicorns, rainbows with Amazon, I'm a fighter pilot. I'm an options trader. I'm going to brief you on the threats. What are the risks to just trading one name? Anybody ever hear of a mom and pop company called Lehman Brothers? 150-year-old company gone in 48 hours. How about Bear Stearns? Jim Cramer knows Bear Stearns, doesn't he? At the height of the financial crisis, he looked like Khrushchev at the UN, a bald, crazy dude slamming a shoe. You're an idiot if you don't put your money in Bear Stearns. Your money's safe there. 2 days later, it was at zero. Nice call, Jim. How about Pets.com? How about Enron? Ladies and gentlemen, I could spend the next 45 minutes together going through the graveyard of stocks that have gone to zero. That's the threat with trading just one stock. The odds of getting eaten by a golden retriever are never zero. The odds of Amazon going to zero are infinitesimally small, but never zero. But what's the common thread between these 4 random examples? They didn't own anything. Enron was a middleman of electricity. Watch the documentary. I don't even think they knew what they were doing. They didn't even own the building they were in. Gone. Pets.com, a URL and a stinky sock puppet. Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns, they owned paper, counterparty risk. They didn't own anything. Gone. So Amazon is the exact opposite of that. It owns things. I did consulting years ago, 15, 12 years ago, down outside of Miami at a Amazon fulfillment center. Folks, it was an aircraft. It was massive. It was an aircraft carrier and as busy as the flight deck. They had some robots at the time, but it was a lot more people. Nowadays, robots with a little bit of people. Folks, they own things. So can your stock go to zero, the actual share price go to zero? Technically, yeah. But you own things that you can sell. So technically, Amazon can never go to zero because it owns things. Many of you know I flew for FedEx for about 10 months, a year. Hated it. I could not show up to Memphis at midnight and fly until the sun came up. I was miserable. Left, went to American 9/11. You know the rest of the story. I bring this up because I stayed in touch with my buddies at FedEx, and one of them called. He went to corporate. He was a trader, man. He went from being a pilot to putting a suit on. He called me. God, when was that? Over a decade ago. Hey, man, you trade and stuff like that? Yeah. Who's Jeff Bezos? I'm like, he runs Amazon. Well, that's weird. What's up? He said, a buddy of mine at GE Aircraft Leasing gave me a heads up that he's leasing 5 jets. And I'm like, yep, he's going to do it. And he said, what? And I said, he's going to put you out of business. Hung up on me. Guess who called him about 5 years ago and hung back on him? Ladies and gentlemen, look at the dates on these. Look at these articles. September 7th, 2021. Amazon is now shipping cargo for outside customers in its move to compete with FedEx and UPS. Look at the next date. November of 2021, 2 months later. Amazon poised to pass UPS and FedEx to become the largest delivery service. And then this one, last year, the biggest delivery business in the US is no longer UPS or FedEx. It's Amazon. Look at the subheadline. Amazon is eclipsing both carriers, and the gap is growing. In yesterday's brief, I told you FedEx got hammered because of tariffs and trade war stuff. You're an idiot if you invest in FedEx. It is not diversified. It is a one-trick pony. Air and ground freight. Amazon has that as part of their Death Star, and it's bigger than them. Why would you buy FedEx? It's so stupid. FedEx went to Amazon and begged for mercy. Can we, Rodney King, can we all just get along? And Amazon's like, no. It's like there will be blood, man. This guy's unbelievable. How about this? And earlier in the week, Fred Smith, the founder of FedEx, passed away. God bless that man, Semper Fi. Young Marine officer in Vietnam, got a C on his Harvard business paper. This'll never work because those who can't teach. So 24-hour delivery. I'm going to come up with a delivery service that it'll be positively anywhere on this planet overnight. Wow. Amazon, you want a toothbrush? I'll get it to you in an hour. You don't even have to leave your home. Oh my God. I predicted over a decade ago drone delivery. It's already happening. I predicted 10 years ago, your doorbell's going to ring, you're going to open the door, a drone's going to scan your face and drop your prescriptions in your hand and fly away. Or the blue Amazon truck in front of your house or your apartment, you're going to get a PIN number on text. Go to the truck, enter your PIN, the door's going to drop and a package will slide out. No driver, because they need to unionize. They need to take a leak. They need a 401k. They want healthcare. You're fired. And it's going to be electric. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Death Star. Okay. Years ago, I saw a headline. Amazon announces Amazon Pharma. I'm like, oh my God. What did I tell you a decade ago? You want to short? You want to get bearish on something? Pound Walgreens and CVS into the dirt. What's happened, baby? New Amazon clinics in 50 states. CVS lays off 5,000 employees. That was 2 years ago. Walgreens plans major U.S. store closures. Walgreens stock tests lowest levels in decades. You're welcome. Those of you who listened to me and pounded these names into the dirt, you're filthy rich. Walgreens break up Nears. CVS conducts strategic review of company. Among the best possible options, breaking it up. There's no easy fix for these problems. Ladies and gentlemen, who wants to go to a Walgreens or a CVS where everything's locked up behind plastic? It used to be razors were locked up behind plastic. Now it's everything. I'm going to go to Walgreens. I'm going to order it from Amazon and it'll be here today. Look at the S&P 500. We are 22 points away, ladies and gentlemen, from the record high on the S&P 500. You're bullish on America trade. You are welcome. I expect a Hanukkah gift. Whoa, why is this guy on the screen? This is a threat. What are you talking about, Whiz? During his first term, Donald Trump picked up his cell phone, I think it was year one, and said, Amazon's a monopoly. Somebody should break up Amazon. Unbelievable monopoly. What happened? The market went, oh my God. The president of the United States tweeted about a company that it's a monopoly and it needs to be broken up. The stock went down a little bit. Then what happened? Nothing. It ripped higher. Year 4, he didn't think it was going to be the final year of his presidency, but year 4 of his presidency, grabbed his phone again. Jeff Bezos, Washington Post, Amazon, monopoly, awful, awful American, needs to be broken up, all of it. What happened that day? The stock went up. What I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, as there is political risk, right? Unbelievable. Foreign, Department of Justice and this and that and antitrust and everything like that. I get it, man. But guess what? It's too late. What do you mean it's too late, Whiz? It's too late. Amazon is Mercury. If you tried to smash Amazon today, you'd make 12 other monopolies. I'd buy the Amazon FedEx. I'd buy Amazon Prime, which is bigger than Netflix. I'd buy AWS, which is bigger than Microsoft. So it's too late. If you tried to smash up Amazon, you'd make things worse. So, but I have to brief you. There are political risks to just trading one name like this. We are 11 points away from record highs. Look at the S&P 500. We might take a sniper shot here. We might hit record highs this morning and it might fade. Get ready for a sniper. Okay. I love James Wood, man. Do you remember like last year or 2 years ago? It was 2 years ago that there were people walking in Lululemons in Atlanta, taking handfuls of stuff and leaving. Employees followed them to the parking lot, recorded them. What happened? Lulu fired the employees. Just so everybody understands the game here, Lululemon and these other national brand stores don't care about theft because A, this crap is in fact virtually worthless, and B, they would rather sell it online. No fuss, no muss, no employees. When you see the stores locking up everything behind glass and forcing customers to select from a kiosk, it's a way to avoid excessive minimum wages to human workers and lawsuits from all the sales staff loonies who aren't addressed by their mythical pronouns. Invest in Amazon, folks. Pretty soon, it'll be the only marketplace left. You're welcome. I could not agree more with Mr. Woods. Now, I got to be honest with you, folks. I'm going to tell you how I feel as an American. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He doesn't pay his employees enough. He's replacing them all with robots and AI. He's going to put hundreds of thousands of people out of work. He's already doing it. I hate that. Well, Whiz, if you want a friend, get a dog. I love it. Greed is good. Greed works. My Amazon positions are printing filthy money. So I'm bipolar, folks. Whiz, shut up. Let's talk like Gordon Gekko. Now, I just briefed you on the threats. What are the benefits of just trading Amazon? You're going to trade Amazon and potentially profit no matter what direction it goes, up, down, or sideways. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you just trade stocks, you're a chump, but you only make money. You make money 3 ways too, don't you? It's called the buy, hope, and pray. You buy the stock, you hope it goes up. If it doesn't, you pray. Wrong. As an options trader, if Amazon goes up, I make money. If it moves sideways, I can make money with a tactical trade called an iron condor. Or if it moves down, I can make money. That's the benefit of trading just one name. You stay focused on the news and events that impact Amazon instead of a bunch of different stocks or ETFs. You become an expert in Amazon. Ladies and gentlemen, I showed you earlier in the week my trading floor up in Chicago. We had a research desk. It was probably 100 feet long, and 25 analysts sat there, right? A junior analyst had one name, maybe two if they were good, that they had to eat, breathe, sleep. They knew everything about the name. A senior analyst, 3 to 5 names. They knew them, everything about them. Do you know how many times I walked over to the research desk during my 3-4 years in Chicago and said, "So, yeah, that's your name. You're supposed to know everything about." Yeah, did you just see the news that broke, or did you know this just happened? So, ladies and gentlemen, how can you, a retail trader, even if you sit here for 12 hours a day, be an expert on a ton of names in your portfolio? You can't. Let me give you a quick analogy, or not analogy, a little story here. When I moved from Chicago down here, Top Gun Options, a doctor in Boca Raton reached out to me. He said, "Man, I hear you're a good trader. Can you help me out?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. Okay, I'll meet you at Starbucks." Met him at Starbucks at Meisner Park. He opened up his computer, logged into his brokerage account, and I'm glad he's a doctor because I passed out and hit my head. He had 33 positions in his account. I'm not shitting you, man. And I shut him down after 3. He tried, but he tried to brief me. I'm like, "Oh my God, what is this?" He's like, "Well, I think this is a pot stock." And I'm like, "Did you just say, I think?" "Well, this is a surgical stock and it's down. A buddy got me into it and it's down 50% from where I bought it. But when it gets back up to where I bought it, I'm going to sell it." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Doc, you're a doc, right?" "Yeah." "You're supposed to be somewhat intelligent." "Yeah." "What's the math? How much does this stock have to go up from here to get back to where you bought it?" I'm like, "Stop, shut up. Sell everything today. Simplify your trading cockpit." And he did. And I'm going to laugh at Jim Cramer again. When was this? In the fall. I saw this headline and I literally was laughing out loud. This is his investment club. Here's a rapid fire update on all 33 portfolio stocks, including we just added 2. Are you insane? What's that story about a room full of monkeys with the Wall Street Journal, right? Throwing darts. A room full of monkeys throwing darts at the Wall Street Journal can pick stocks better than some of the most professional managers. You want to pay to join Jim Cramer's investment club and have 35 names? Are you stupid? My God, this was comical. As soon as I saw the 33, I'm like, oh my God. And people that have been here for 10, 15 years, I've been telling you about Doc so I didn't use this and then start telling that story. It's comical. Simplify your trading cockpit, ladies and gentlemen. It's combat. Trade Amazon. Now, for those of you who are like, "You know what, Whiz? I get what you're saying, man, but the broker bit me in the neck. I'm a diversification vampire. I have to. I just can't not." Well, here's what I'm going to do for you. Trade the XLY. It's the consumer discretionary ETF. Well, why would I trade that? What's the number one holding of this ETF? 22% of the XLY is Amazon. Shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. The XLY is a vehicle for eating Amazon. But what else do you get in the XLY? You get some Elon, some Home Depot, McDonald's, Lowe's, TJX, Booking, Starbucks, Nike, Chipotle. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you just can't only trade Amazon because you're a diversification vampire, do the XLY. We'll go take a look at the chart of the XLY and the versus Amazon. Okay? Incredible. ETF. So how do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Step 1 that I'm going to do right now, Establish a beachhead like the Marines, a base position. We're going to do synthetic stock all the way out into the future. And as you saw yesterday with Raytheon, have some protection underneath it, some protective puts. After we have that beachhead established, we're going to trade the front month. What's the front month? You're sitting in the front month, but June, July, August. If Amazon's going up in the front month, we'll trade some bullish spreads, buy some calls. Uh-oh, it's going down. What do you mean, uh-oh? Long term, it's going to go up, I guarantee you. But short term, why don't we trade some bearish spreads, buy some puts, sell some weekly calls like we did yesterday on Raytheon? What if it's moving sideways? Well, if you own the stock, you're doing nothing. If you're trading options like I do, if it's moving sideways, you print money. Last month when Amazon kind of settled into a rage, we made like 5-6 grand trading Amazon iron condors, which is a range bound trade. Okay, so now we're going to go jump over and take a look at this. There you go, Bob. So I did synthetic stock yesterday on Raytheon. Since I already kind of went through my process, and I am going to assume as soon as you join, you're going to do watch your options weapons. Oh, real quick though, let me give you the link for Solo Amazon. One more time, for the millionth time, Solo Amazon is not included in Full Throttle. It's a standalone service. It's $97 a month. That's a very bad bottle of wine, okay? Do the annual. I think it's 2 months included. Yeah, 2 months included for $970. Most people end up in the annual membership. If you want to try it out for a couple months at $97, knock yourself out. But you're going to end up in the annual because you save money. Reminder, when you go for your monthly or your annual, you don't get options weapons school training. It's just like Amazon. When you check out, hey, do you want this too? That's what you're going to have to do. It's $97. Do it. Do Solo Amazon annual and take the upgrade for the training, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let me give you the link to that. Bruce, ChatGPT is going to, AI, first of all, is going to kill all of us. Ultimately, it's going to put tens of millions of Americans out of work. I use ChatGPT for I say, ChatGPT, give me a brief on Amazon's stock right now as if I'm a hedge fund manager. You should see what you get, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? It's insane. I would walk over to the research desk and say, you're fired. Why? Because I would say, give me a brief on Amazon, and it would take, can I get it to you by the closing bell? Yeah, sure. That was like expected. It's going to take a couple hours to get my charts and this and that and projections and that. Now, enter. It probably takes a couple seconds on ChatGPT. So you are absolutely right, man. I can't even, it's sad. I have a lot of good buddies on Wall Street that are going to be losing their job, period. The only people that are going to have jobs are the owners of the firms and the partners. I'm going to rip through Amazon right now. Here we go. Whiz, you're wrong. I want to be a shareholder of Amazon. Why? If you wanted to buy 100 shares of Amazon today, do you have $21,400 laying around? If you do, you're still an idiot if you buy it. No dividend, and your little 100 shares, if you bought this, Jeff Bezos has 100 shares in the lint in his pocket. It's stupid. So when you do synthetic stock, you lose your right you don't get to vote. Who cares? You don't get a dividend. There is none. So remind me again why you would rather spend $21,400. So instead of wasting all of that money, I'm going to go all the way out into the future, and I'm going to buy a single DEES 27 210 call. Would you rather spend $21,400 or $5,400? I just saved you $16,000. I'm not done cooking yet. I'm also going to sell a DEES 27 at the money put. Let's do the 215s. That's closer to 214. So, ladies and gentlemen, I went from 21,400 to 5,400 to 1,800 bucks. Rhetorical question. Why would you spend 21 grand when you could spend 1,800 bucks today? You don't have an answer. The only answer is you're right, Wiz. This is incredibly awesome. Now I'm going to remind you, what's the max potential loss? It's the same as if you own the 100 shares, genius. Amazon can go to zero in the next 2 years. Will it? No. Can it? Anything can happen. Look at this. The probability of that happening is 0.00000001. But I'm not done. Let's buy what I call a disaster put underneath this. What's a disaster? I use the rule of 20%. Buy a put that is 20% under this. 2 and 2 is 4. What's that? 180? So did anybody do the disaster put yet? I'm going to say it's 180. Okay. Now, the cost of this trade went up a little bit. Why? Because you just bought some insurance. Insurance ain't free. You got to come out of pocket. But still, 21 grand, 5 grand, or 3,800 bucks. But now look at the risk. Is it 23 grand? No, it's 7. And if you're trading on margin, you're only going to probably need a couple grand in your account, right, to do this trade. It ain't going to cost that much of your margin. Does everybody understand this? The name of this stock, this trade is synthetic stock. I'm not done cooking. Amazon's on a little bit of a tear, but I could sell a single call out to tomorrow. Maybe we sell an at the money 215 call. Look at what I just did. I bring in $100. So I just lowered the price, the cost of this trade. If you sell short calls every week, and Amazon doesn't move at all, you can pay this trade off on its own, right? If you own the stock, unless you're selling calls against it, you're not doing that. So on your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen, is synthetic stock with a protective put. I just saved you $18,000. Instead of buying 100 shares of this stock, you should do, well, you shouldn't do anything. I would buy this synthetic stock. Now I'm going to grab a screenshot of these so I send out the alert to my members, my solo Amazon members. Let me grab a screenshot of this page. Remember, do not let Amazon expire above 215 tomorrow with those short calls still open. You will be assigned the shares. That's what I said at the open. I'm like, hey, I'm closing my JP Morgan short calls because I don't want to be assigned. Okay. So you don't have to be in the solo Amazon brief if you're working or you're with the kids or something. Why? Because you're about to get a text alert right here. New Amazon. What was that? June? Yeah, June 27th, synthetic stock. I at everyone. So they all get the alert. You see in the gray out here, there's 623 folks that will get this alert. Okay. At everyone. And then I'm going to, yeah, I meant to draw right there. 623 solo Amazon members in here that I am going to send this alert out to. Okay. All right. So I click on the image on the desktop, select that. Grab the metrics of the trade right there. I send out an email after the brief too. When I get around to it, you already got the alert. And then the lifetime people get this. The hunters don't. Why? Because some people are just in the hunters, which doesn't include solo Amazon. So I don't put the Amazon trades in the hunters. New Amazon, June 27th, synthetic stock. If you already have this on, you're good to go. This is for new members. All right, so I give this to my lifetime folks as well. So remember, solo Amazon is not part of this stuff. the lifetime people, max afterburner, get obviously access into everything. Okay. Now, let me go, since we have some time, let's go ahead and backfill any questions from other trades throughout the week. Doesn't seem available in Merrill Lynch. Jay, I don't trade with Merrill Lynch. You got to kind of build it each leg at a time. Or folks, anybody has any questions, you pick up the phone. This is why you pay a commission, right? Brokers now are like the self-checkout stores. Like, I got to scan my own groceries. Do I get a discount since I work here now? Brokers are the same way. They have pushed so much over to you that you got to figure stuff out. I'm paying you a commission for a trade. Pick up the phone and call the trade desk. Tell them, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to do a synthetic stock on Amazon with a protective put. Show me how to do it on the order ticket. Okay. So good catch, Paul. Make sure you have the right options permission, right? So you might have to pick up the phone and say, hey, I want to do this type of trade. And they're going to say, oh, you need a options level 3 approval. They're going to send you a form or something like that. And you're going to have to tell them, hey, I've been trading options for a while here. And then you're going to get, it's got to go to their compliance department and you need to, and they'll need to approve you. I'm going to be very delicate about this, but listen to me. When you open a new brokerage account, if you want to trade options, and it's funny because they say it's, well, we're trying to protect you. Don't tell me what to do with my own money. A government that's $37 trillion in debt, how dare you tell me how to manage my money? But anyway, as you start opening a new account, they're going to ask you some questions, right? Like, how experienced are you trading options? If you go, I'm not, you're going to have level 0 or maybe 1. And it's going to suck when down the road, you're like, hey, I want to do spreads and whatever now. They're going to be like, oh, well, you have no experience doing this. Now you're going to have to go through this whole rigmarole like, well, I'm in Top Gun options. I'm taking some training. It's going to be like pulling teeth. Not telling you to lie, not telling you to be dishonest in any way. I'm telling you what the reality is. So when you get the questions like that and you're like, you know what, I'm a Top Gun. I'm going to learn how to do all this stuff. I want the try and get level 3 or 4. You're the tick. You're the trader in command. You answer how you need to answer. But I'm telling you, if you don't, if you tell them you have absolutely 0 experience trading options, it's going to be a pain in the ass for you to try and trade options. Does everybody understand me? Right? So let's go ahead and move on to some potential Amazon front month trades. Actually, let me look at this chart. I like this one, how it looks a little bit more. Zoom user, which to choose, Amazon or bullish on America trade? I can only afford one. I can't answer that. I don't know you. I don't know your portfolio. I don't know your risk tolerance. I don't know anything about you. You're going to have to watch my briefs again. And that's a tick. That's a trader in command decision. I don't manage your portfolio. I don't fly your airplane. I'm a single seat trader. I like both of those trades. It literally would be a coin flip. But the way I see things going, both names are going to move up and to the right. I do not do bullish trades like this on names that I don't think are going to move up and to the right over the next 2 to 5 years. I love what the president's doing, first of all, diplomatically and militarily around the world. I love what he's doing with trade. You know what? Let's look at something. Excuse me. Let's go look at, I don't know, a 5-year chart of Amazon versus the S&P 500. So SPX has outperformed Amazon over the past 5 years. Maybe an answer for you. It's up to you, but that is pretty incredible. So maybe potentially that gave you an answer. That's pretty cool. Excuse me. Let me scroll up a little bit. Kevin, would you also do the synthetic stock on the America trade where you buy and sell the So, Kevin, the bullish on America trade is a bull call spread. It's not synthetic stock, right? But yeah, you're saying, hey, if I did the bull call spread, you could do, yeah, you could absolutely. You could do weekly, uh, bull put spreads underneath it to help pay for that. So Warren Buffett, folks, will go 6 months to a year out and sell cash. He's got the cash. He will sell cash secured puts about 20% underneath the S&P 500. Why? Because he knows rarely does this government nowadays and the Fed let stocks implode 20% without soothing words or actions. So I don't have that type of money to be selling cash secured puts under the S&P 500. But Kevin, you bring up a great point. If you believe we're on a bullish trend here, absolutely. You could bring in a lot of money to help pay for that trade. That's a great question. All right, 3 new messages. Let me look up here. Aaron, Raytheon question. How long is your thoughts on when Raytheon may see a bigger move up from the contracts on depleted munitions? So, Aaron, unless Raytheon comes out with a in-between earnings announcement, like, holy crap, we just got a massive order from government, from Uncle Sam, it's going to be on the next earnings call, right? When's the next earnings? Yeah, and whoever said that, you're exactly right. My sniper trades, folks, men lie, trades don't. I placed 4 S&P 500 trades this week for $4,500. What was the cost of the bullish on America trade? It was about, what was it, 5 grand? So this week, ladies and gentlemen, I essentially paid for your bullish on America trade. From here on out, it's profit. So thank you, and you're absolutely right. Raytheon, when are the earnings? Next earnings. Oh, so about a month out, right? I also don't think Raytheon, I don't think I know. There are some national security things around Raytheon and this. I don't think Raytheon's going to come out and say, hey, General Kane just called us, or Secretary Hegseth just called us and said they're out of missiles and they need everything. I think the Wall Street Journal, because remember, that hasn't happened. Now, Trump might say that, like, I got to rebuild our military. Nobody rebuilds militaries better than me. We're out of weapons and we need to rebuild. He can always say that, but we got to be a little hush hush. Why? Yeah, we're out of weapons. Raytheon, hook us up. That's when Xi Jinping, I posted this, forget where I just posted it. They're doing like Saving Private Ryan exercises right now. China, they're practicing. They have a huge amphibious exercise going on right now. That ain't for anybody other than Taiwan. So if you're Xi Jinping right now and you're like, huh, there's war in Eastern Europe. There's still kind of war between Iran and Israel. The U.S. is busy. We're over here on the left side of the map. Let's fight. I don't think that's gonna. I don't think that's gonna happen. Good question, Aaron. Appreciate that. Who said that? Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. Okay. What was I gonna do here? I want to look at Amazon real quick. See if there's any front month trades that we could do. And I liked this chart better, I said. Man, we are hovering above 61.25. Excuse me. I like Amazon right now because look at this. We're really hugging these moving averages here. What is that? The 20-day? Let me close the chart to 6 months. This is good, man. We are above the circulatory system here. It's hugged, but this looks pretty good. A little bit of a descending. Maybe we do an iron condor like we did when it leveled off down here. We had a couple, I think 2 weeks in a row, we had some good iron condors. We're starting to settle down a little bit on Amazon. Maybe we do, excuse me, another iron condor. God, I was talking for like, then I did a podcast yesterday afternoon for like 2 hours, man. I can't stand that. Joe Rogan podcast, like 2-3 hours. You got to break it up into days. I was on one of those yesterday. I'm like, I don't want to listen to me this long. Let's stop. Can we wrap it up? It sucks. Okay. But it does look like we're kind of settling into a range here. So let's do that. I'm going to give you a bonus trade on Amazon right now. Let's go out a couple weeks into the future. Let's go to next Friday, right before 4th of July, man. So I just looked at the chart and I mentally looked at those prices that were kind of between. So I looked at the chart, but now I'm going to look at something called the at the money straddle. If you don't know which way Amazon's going to move by next Friday, look at the at the money puts. They're $2.18, 17 cents. The at the money calls are what? Well, let's go up to 15. Yeah, let's do 15. That's 272 and that's 322. Add those together. What's that? $5-6. Let's just click on it. I'm going to click straddle and out to next Friday, July 3rd. What did I say? $6. It's like I do this for a living. So, ladies and gentlemen, not Whiz, the options market is saying Amazon should stay below 221 by next Friday and above 209. That's the top of this Elizabeth Warren teepee. It's not perfect because we're a little off. We're not right at 215, but it's something to work with. So right now, and since I'm going a little long, I'm going to treat you like you kind of know what you're doing. You already watched your iron condor training on Amazon, so I'm going to rip. I'd sell a single July 3rd 220 call and buy the 225 and make a bear call spread. Okay. Then what was the bottom? 209. Let's go to 210. So that's the roof. Now I'm going to put the basement on. And again, if you're like, holy shit, this guy's cruising, because I'm treating you like you're a current member and you know what you're doing. If not, you need to join. I'm going to sell the 210 put and buy the 207 and a half put. This is a range bound trade. I call it a football trade. This is the upright. That's the current price of Amazon. As long as Amazon runs around, as long as Amazon, the football goes through these uprights, hell, it can hit an upright. As long as it bounces in, you make the max profit. It's called an iron condor. So if you just buy the stock and it's moving sideways for the next week and a half, you're not making any money. Me, I can make money as a stock moves sideways, okay? It's called an iron condor. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Screenshot of that. It is a range-bound trade. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I think Options Weapon School Session 5 takes an hour to an hour and a half deep dive into iron condors. Amazon, iron condor, what's today's date? 6/26. And I'm going to rip past this, folks, because I'm sure a lot of you who are new are like, wait, I have tons of questions about the iron condor. Last day of the free training, I'm not going to answer it because you need to join. This is why I used to catch grief when I went to live events from my fellow competitors who were like, dude, why do you do this? Why do you give away so much stuff and not charge people for the week? I'm like, that's because this is my free trial, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I do not treat an iron condor as an iron condor. I treat it as two independent spreads. Let me blast out my alert real quick to the solo Amazon people, Amazon trade alerts. New July 3rd, Amazon iron condor. At everyone. Boom. And then obviously my lifetime people get this as well. New Amazon July 03 iron condor. I have to write some text. Looks like we're settling into a nice range. Iron condor image, iron condor image. You know what? And I can at everyone in lifetime. Or no, you guys are already in solo Amazon. Never mind. I don't want to over alert people, right? That's annoying. Okay. There you go, Dennis. I love it, man. Yep, absolutely, Debbie, and good mutual support. I briefed that a couple weeks ago. They're having like Christmas in July or Kwanzaa or winter solstice or Hanukkah. in July. This trade expires a week before that. That's why it should also stay in a range, right? Before big things in Amazon, sometimes it gets into a range waiting for the big thing, and then we're going to have a move. Remember, in our model portfolio, ladies and gentlemen, we have a bullish burner trade. Where is it? A burner trade on Amazon. Where's my burner trade on JP Morgan? Hold on. Where's my Amazon? Here it is. This is what I call a burner trade on Amazon. I did a bull put spread out to January, and I bought some upside calls to 250s. If you're really a really cheap person, you should have taken a screenshot by now. If you didn't, you missed it. So I have a bullish burner trade that is going to print money as we rip higher in Amazon through January. Remember, every Top Gun Options member should have put an October 1st calendar alert. Every year, you should get an annual reminder that says bullish on Amazon ? Why? We get a November, December Santa Claus rally. We level off in January, waiting for earnings, and we usually sell into February. I've been doing this 20 plus years just in Amazon, folks. I know it. So I have a burner trade, it's called. Don't know what a burner trade is? It's because you need to join and go watch the Options Weapon School training session, whatever it is, on the burner trade. And let's go look at which one the iron condor is. Okay, and then I'm going to take cleanup questions. Again, folks, Options Weapon School is designed for you to, on your own time, to learn all this stuff. So in the trade briefs, I rip. If I do an iron condor, I'm ripping. You shouldn't have 90 questions on an iron condor because you already watched the training. So let's scroll down here. There you go. Options Weapon School 5. Whiz, what's a burner trade on Amazon? I do it right there. Hey, I have a lot of questions on synthetic stock. I guarantee you I answer your question when you watch the synthetic stock training. It's extremely rare, folks, for somebody to watch an Options Weapon School session and go, hey, I have a question that you haven't heard in 35 years. That's why this training is pretty damn good. Why the pause? Because we are, what's that, 11? No, 8. We're 8 points away from a record high on the S&P 500, man. I'm itching to snipe, but you never know. We might hit it and keep ripping. Look at this. 52-week high, folks, or the historic high is 61.47. Look at this. I don't even have one of my 25 lines in here. I didn't think we'd be up here this soon, but man, you're welcome for your bullish on America trade. So you should join. I don't know if we're gonna try and rise up to hit it, but I'm feeling a little bearish sniper right now. How do I do that? 246. Let's zoom in here. Not a 1 minute chart. It's a 2 minute chart. That would be a confirmation. You see those thin candles and they're a little reddish. That would be a confirmation to fire a bearish sniper at this point. But I'm going to, if you're aggressive, you shoot it. The 40, 45, $1.25. In the model portfolio, I do 15 contracts at $1.25. What's the risk on that? You're risking about 5 to make 19. I can't risk that much. Don't. I'm not telling you what to do. Do one contract. But, well, there's a green one. So here's why I'm sitting on my hands a little bit, right? We might pull back to that 61.25 and then get a rip trying to get to all-time highs. I can't believe I'm saying that on the S&P 500. I mean, I can because I predicted back here as everybody else panicked. Where are some of my Top Gun Options members who got Amazon down at like 190? You guys, I expect a nice donation to the foundation. I mean, holy shit, you are printing money. But I told you, man, look at that rally. Let's bring that chart down to 6 months. Look at that, man. 48.50 to over 6,000. Unbelievable. Well, there's a bigger red candle. All right. Oh, I'm not going to sit here and snipe because people are in here who are still free. There you go. Kurt got 170. John, 185. Kevin added some more down there. That's fantastic. I told you that too, right? I'm like, hey, if you're an existing synthetic stock on Amazon, add it. This is a gift. If you liked Amazon up here, you love it down there, man, right? All right. 11:11. God is showing me that we are on the right path, that you are on the right path. One more time, Amazon, the solo Amazon service is every Monday at 10 a.m. The reason it's out here on Thursday this week is because I did full throttle for 3 days and then the solo Amazon brief. Okay. So, solo Amazon, Monday, 10 a.m. Usually, this coming Monday at 10 a.m., we will do solo Amazon. It's $97, folks. That is not a lot of money at all for what you get. 5 live trade briefs, the alerts. But you got to take the upsell, man, if you want the options training. Do not join without doing the training. It's stupid. I know what I'm doing. I guarantee you I'll make you better. That's the motto at Top Gun, right? You think you're good, we'll make you better. There you go, Jeff. I love that. All right. As of me, and that was 2 buzzes. What's that? 5. There are 5 full throttle memberships left. Okay. Taking 25. We have 5 left. We already have 20. Closing the doors. And then we're getting airborne without you. I did this full throttle this week because last week we nailed it to the day. I said Israel's going to attack Iran in the immediate future. Went to the Panthers game. My phone blew up. Ran home to do a Trace Gallagher Fox News hit. Nobody else on the planet predicted that to the day. I don't know if it was going to be that day. I said immediate future. The chatter I'm hearing, it's go time. Hours later, the game 4 of the Panthers game, I'm like, crap. You're welcome. So I said, you know what? With everything going on, I'm going to let's do another full throttle. Let's open up the doors. Not 50 new members. We're only going to take about 25 this time. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. That's exactly right. If you're interested in a lifetime membership, you can shoot me an email or you can fill out this form. I'll give you both. Email's probably easier because I just get a form that says, hey, this person's interested. Just shoot me an email, whiz@topgunoptions.com. Folks, in just S&P 500 trades, let's go look at the model portfolio. Look at that. 50, if you'll allow me to round up, 52 grand just in S&P 500 trades. We're having a primary portfolio month here, $62,000. If you did the trades as I covered them type of thing. I don't do one contract in the model portfolio. I trade based on off of $100,000 model portfolio, which at any given time is only deploying about 25 to 50 grand. I mean, look, everything. Look at this, folks. I love this. 75% cash. So would you like to potentially make over 60 grand while only deploying about 25% of the capital? Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, again, I don't know what else to do if at this time in the week you're not like, holy shit, I should have joined Monday. So I could have gotten the rest of those sniper shots. Yeah, you should have. All right, couple more questions. Oh, yeah. I'll give you that link. Get Maverick Mind, folks. If you want to start your microdosing, order some of our cool merch. What are we doing here? Go to our webpage. It's getmaverickmind.com. The microdose for the morning and then the night duty to help you sleep. Awesome. Peggers up 198% since April. Holy crap. Don't mind me, my brother, taking that one as a testimonial. Wow. I love seeing. So, folks, I showed you how the average hedge funds were doing. Would you like to potentially be up like Peggers? 198%? I'm pretty damn sure the answer would be yes. Folks, I make the smart money look dumb, and many times they are. Wow, that's a great return, man, Peggers. It's so funny because people when I was using this, I got rid of them a long time ago, this marketing firm, because they couldn't, they're like, we can't market. I'm like, why? They're like, we can't believe your results. I'm like, here's my brokerage account. Here's my statements. Do the math. It's unbelievable. We cut your returns in half, and nobody's going to believe it. I'm like, that's how it was at our firm in Chicago. So we just kept quiet. The partners were like, we don't need to tell everybody how we're doing, mainly because nobody's going to believe how we're doing, and we'd rather do that in silence. Isn't that funny? So, all right, guys, any other questions? I'm done after this, man. No more free briefs, no more nothing for a couple more months. I think August or September is the next full throttle. So we're going to get airborne with or without you. You're welcome, Kevin. So folks, one more time, I'm the only guy that does this. Everybody else kills you with PowerPoints. I hope I didn't kill you with PowerPoints day one. I just gave my little intro, and then it was live. Then it was in the market. Then it was trades. Then it was real money. I don't know what else to tell you at this point. So if you don't want to join, good luck trading in this market solo. If you want to join, welcome aboard. We only have a handful of slots left. We take more people into solo Amazon because it's our gateway service. The other services, we're kind of hardcore, man. We're elite, and we get things done. Let me remind everybody real quick, since I don't know if there's confusion or I just suck at briefing this. You want to do the annual membership, okay, of Full Throttle. It's $29.95. I made that Monday in 3 trades. If you want to kick the tires for a couple months, do the hunters, okay? But if you do the annual, it's a 50% discount over doing it month to month. This one is the trial. It's the tire kicker. You don't get access to the hunters, the app with the investment club, okay? You don't get access to those sniper shots. If you want sniper shot access, it's either the annual or the monthly hunters. I did the monthly hunters because there were some people who were like, I don't know. I still want to check you out a little bit. I'm like, well, you don't get check me out a little bit with the sniper trades for that much because you're not paying for it. So I'll make something in the middle. That's called the hunters, okay? So if there's any doubt, try the hunters for a couple months, and I guarantee you're going to be emailing me in 2 months going, upgrade me. I want the annual because it's a lot cheaper. So that's your test flight, but serious. That's your, I'm ready. I get it, man. After 4 days of this, I can see what you do. And this is your keep doing a trial type of thing, but it ain't free. Any other questions? Let me scroll up a little. Exactly, Scott. When you join, visit the training regularly. The training is worth the cost by itself. That's exactly right. I got to be honest, folks, every once in a while, I go reread some manuals, chapter 7 on volatility or something like that. The training is worth its weight in gold. Mike, just do the annual membership, get everything, learn the training. I do the snipers, and it pays for the membership. Life-changing money here. All right, fellas, I'm grabbing both of those. Folks, these are unsolicited. I love, and this shows you that you're in a regular member brief with these are current members, okay? They don't get paid to say any of that stuff. They're being nice guys. Lifetime paid by snipers. I love that. I'm going to use that. All right. Anything else, guys? I mean, I'm worn out here. My voice is killing me. I've been talking way too much this week. I don't sit here all day and trade, man. I would rather get my teeth drilled. Let's go look real quick. What did Uncle Whiz tell you? I wouldn't do a sniper right now. And I didn't. So look at that. We had a couple. That was a head fake right there, man. A head fake. And now we're close, baby. I might step in and fire one if we hit that all-time high. I would expect us to maybe fade. But I don't shoot snipers willy-nilly, man. I don't ever press fire on a trade unless I'm pretty damn sure it's going to make money. I don't gamble. No, thank you. So, I subscribed to Full Throttle a few days ago, but I'm not seeing any trade, Rex. Where do I get the email text? You need, folks, let me remind everybody, you need to download the app. It's called Go Collab. It's an app, folks. You just don't magically, you gotta, it says it on your receipt. You should have when you join, it says, hey, go download this app. So, yep. I'm goofing around listening to Whiz. Exactly. Made, a couple $100. Just again, folks, this ain't hard. We have stay-at-home moms and dads and airline pilots, attorneys, doctors. We have everybody here. So anybody can do this, okay? Now, if everybody could do this, they would be. They're not. You need to put some elbow grease in, man. Go watch the Options Weapon School sessions. Go download your manual. Sit on the couch after the kids go to bed. Read them. Watch the training. You're going to get up to speed. But after that initial, rabbit in the python gets past, you know what you're doing. You get up to speed and you're good to go. Like I said, you should be feeling like you're drinking from a fire hose over these 4 days. If you're new and you don't, new to options, that's how you should feel. I didn't show up to Navy flight training like, wow, this stuff is easy. I literally was drinking from a fire hydrant, not the hose. And then, 6 months, a year later, I was a steely-eyed naval aviator flying off an aircraft carrier. You can do the same thing. Okay. All right. I got to go. Way too much talking and I'm done. It is Miller time, even though I don't drink anymore. So replay going to be on this page. It's the last replay. We're done, man. I'm done with the free stuff. For all the cheap folks, we're done with you. Join, profit, strike, repeat. Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. Anything else? Nope. Get your Maverick mind on. Remember, trade centered. I made a lot of money this week. How do I feel? Okay. Uh-oh. What if you lose a lot of money next week? I'm okay. You should trade centered. Never super happy, never super sad. Right in the middle. 90% of trading is emotional. I'm going to teach you how to take the emotion out of trading with your checklist, with your discipline, having those eject points, those profit targets. Okay. And you're going to learn about all of that stuff in full throttle. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged. We are. Fights on. Namaste. And basi basi. Whiz out. See ya.